Hello everyone, my name is Professor Kali Mangal, working as Assistant Professor in ICM Engineering Aurangabad. Today I am going to discuss about the Hall's effect. First of all, definition of Hall effect. When a magnetic field is applied perpendicular to current carrying conductor or semiconductor, voltage is developed across the specimen in a direction perpendicular to both of the current and the magnetic field. This phenomena is called as the Hall's effect, and the voltage so developed is called the Hall voltage. Let us consider a thin rectangular slab carrying current I if in the x direction. If we place it in a magnetic field B which is in a direction y, the potential difference VPQ will develop between face P and Q which are perpendicular to the z direction. We can see this in a diagram. This one is the diagram for the p-type semiconductor. We can see it in the x direction, y direction and z direction. This is the diagram for the n-type of semiconductor. We can see the current is flowing in the direction of x-axis, the magnetic field in direction of the y-axis, and there is the z-axis. Consider a block of current carrying conductor is placed in a transfer magnetic field. Let the current I is flowing in the positive x direction and B is the z direction as shown in diagram. If we assume that the current is carried by electrons, then the external magnetic field P applied perpendicular to the current I will exert a transverse magnetic force on the electron along negative y direction. This magnetic force will force the electrons to drift downwards to the lower edge of the block. Consequently, lower surface becomes negatively charged and upper surface positively charged. Hence, the potential V called as the Hall's voltage. The appears between the lower and upper surface due to this potential electric field EH is induced, and which opposes the downward drifting of electrons. Ultimately, equilibrium is reached, in which the force due to induced electric field on the electrons becomes equal to the magnetic force, and so the flow electrons stop. Hence, in the equilibrium state, EH is equal to BeV, where E is the magnitude of the charge on carries and V is the drift speed. From equation 1, EH is equal to BV, but EH is equal to VH divided by D, where the D is the distance between lower and upper surface. The EH is equal to BV and VH is equal to BVD, where the VH is known as the Hall's voltage. Let the number of free electrons per unit volume of the specimen be n, and then the current density J is given by relation. The J current density is equal to NeV. The current density J is also given by the relation. The J is equal to I divided by omega d, where the omega is the width of the block in the direction of the magnetic field. The equation 3 and 4 we have NeV is equal to I divided by omega d. So the Vd is equal to I divided by Ne omega is equal to I divided by Q omega, where the rho is the charge density. Rho is equal to Ne. The substituting the equation 5 in equation 2, so that we get VH is equal to RH, where the factor RH is called the Hall coefficient for the substance, and so that the RH is equal to 1 by rho is equal to 1 upon ENE is equal to omega VH divided by VI. The Hall coefficient is the constant for metal and is negative for free electron. If the charge carriers are positive holes, then Hall coefficient RH is equal to 1 upon Ne is positive. Thus, the measurement of Hall constant, Hall's voltage, given the information about the sign of charge carriers. In other words, it helps to determine whether a semiconductor is of p-type. Also, we can determine the number of conduction electrons per unit volume n by measuring Hall coefficient. Hope so you understand the Hall's effect and Hall's coefficient. Thank you.